Hi, everybody. Welcome to this really unglamorous white corner of my bedroom, which is functioning as our yoga studio right now. Um, Truthfully, I really have no blank walls in my house where there is nothing to be found. My dad makes fun of me all the time and tells me I'm like an old granny because I've got bits and bobs everywhere. Um, and it's not untrue. I do have a lot of photographs and memorabilia from trips lining the walls of my house. So I've created a blank wall for us this evening. I've moved my desk. Um, my room is mid-renovation, so I have no real baseboards yet, so I covered up the dirty bits with some blankets. Um, but we are here in this corner with this wall because this evening we are going to do a short yin sequence up against the wall, and it's very much revolving around the main posture, Viparita Krani waterfall pose. And I say to people all the time that if I could recommend one yoga pose for everyone to do every single day, it would be legs up the wall. Simply bringing the feet up above you and just allowing your body to have that change of space, that change of perspective, kind of helps all of the emotional sludge to move out of the feet back into the body to be processed by the kidneys. So tonight we're just going to take a nice, really easy grounding, different change of perspective yin yoga class at the wall. And when I do yin, there's three things that are absolutely essential for me to have. First, my toque. Doesn't matter what season it is, I like to have my toque when I'm meditating or I'm doing yin yoga. Fuzzy socks. Got to keep the feet warm so that the nervous system is happy. And I like to have a cup of tea so I can take a sip between poses. So what I will say is that we will have our feet up for a significant portion of this class. So in the middle of a pose, we're going to hold each for about 2 to 3 minutes. If your feet do begin to tingle before I cue the end of the posture, feel free to just drop the feet down for a few seconds, allow that numbness and tingling to subside, and then come right back up into the pose with us. Okay? So, although this is an up the wall practice, we are going to start class this evening in child's pose. Oh, and one last thing, I do have just an extra blanket on my mat where my back will be laying, just to give a little bit of extra cushioning. So if you want to do that, if there's any other props that you need, go grab them now, just pause the video and come back and join us. Okay, let's go. So child's pose, first posture, you can do it whatever direction you want. I'm going to face the wall. Extend the hands out in front of you, sink the hips back to your heels, and you're just going to allow your chest to hang heavy towards the earth, forehead to the mat. Now, if it's uncomfortable for you to bring the hips to the heels, if that's too much flexion in the knees, just roll up a towel, place it in that kind of crook of the knee, and then sink back. Also, if the forehead doesn't come to the mat here, you can use a stack of books or a blanket to bring the earth closer to you. So for now, whatever shape feels best for you, just allowing your hips to be heavy, the chest to sink towards the earth, and the arms can be in front of you, bones heavy. But if you prefer to have the arms back beside you, you can do that as well. There's no absolute, there's no perfect solution or perfect place for you here. I just want you to settle and start to tune into your breath. Just noticing the rhythm of your breath. How long are the inhales compared to your exhales? And how long are your exhales compared to your inhales? In this shape, is there anywhere where the breath is getting stuck? And child's pose is a really beautiful space to really tune into the backside body. About 60 to 70% of our lung capacity is actually located in the backside body, even though we traditionally think of breathing into the front side body. So there's an opportunity here just to feel more expansion into your backside body. Getting air into the lungs, just clearing out whatever's hanging on here. And just let everything settle and everything become heavy here. Everything you do today, whenever you find your way to this practice, should be very intentional. No sharp, sudden movements, no forcing. Just coming into this with ease and compassion. Just thinking of this practice as a giant reset button for the body, for the mind, for the nervous system. Just allow your practice to be filled with grace and ease. Good. Now from this child's pose position, gently, very slowly, just come up to hands and knees. We're going to move a little bit closer to the wall, and we're going to do heart melting pose. So we do this a lot from the earth. We call it puppy pose, where we keep the hips over the knees and allow the chest to sink towards the earth. But tonight you've got the wall, so you're just going to bring the hands to the wall, keep the hips over the knees, and you're just going to allow the chest to sink between the arms. Okay, so you don't want a lot of pressure on the shoulders, but this is just a nice way to stretch into the shoulders, finding a little bit of space here, okay? So hips over the knees, palms to the walls, and then just allow the chest to sink between the arms. Chin is tucked slightly, kind of gazing towards the space where the wall meets the floor. Eyes soft. Breath strong here. Just opening the back side body a little bit and the front side body a little bit here before we move into all of the reclined postures that are to come in this practice. If this is too much for the shoulders, come up a little bit. Find what space feels good for you. You might need a little extra padding under the knees. Breathe. Just let the heart melt, just like the name of the posture says, melting heart pose. Just letting all the fears and worries melt out of the heart, let it melt towards the earth, to that space of grounding, connection, safety. Good, last breath here. Exhale, stay. And then gently come back up onto the knees. Just sit back on the heels for a moment. Let the arms dangle. Kind of let that sink in. Take a sip of your tea if you'd like it. There's a lot of ease here. Okay, we're going to move into the legs up the wall portion. So the best way that I know to come into legs up the wall is to come sit next to the wall. Okay, as close as you can to the wall. And then you're going to come down on your side so that your bum is as close to the wall as you can get it. Okay, now from this space, you're just going to simply reach the legs up the wall. Don't worry if it takes you a couple tries. If it's not super graceful, you can scoot yourself in as close as is comfortable to the wall. Okay, just let yourself be here. So first place you're coming is simple legs up the wall, Viparita Karani. Let the heels rest against the wall. Maybe the backs of your calves or your thighs are against the wall. I like to have my knees slightly bent. Just kind of shuffle the shoulder blades a little bit more underneath the back. And the hands just come beside you, palms face up. Close your eyes and drop into your breath. Remember, coming from a place of passion, compassion, non-judgment, ease, and grace here this evening. Or whatever time you're finding your way to your mat. Just kind of letting everything fall away. Different perspective. The feet aren't used to being above the heart. We spend so much time of our day walking from place to place or sitting, and so many things settle in the feet, physical toxins, emotional toxins. So it's nice to change the perspective, flip the feet upside down. Just find ease here. It's a really good posture for calming nerves and anxiety. It's really good for athletes to do after they've finished running or competing. It helps to move the lactic acid out of the body or out of the legs so that the body can process it. So we're not going to take too much time here in our first Viparita Karani posture. We're going to move into half dragonfly. So moving into half dragonfly, you'll keep your left foot straight up and you're just going to start to tip the right leg open to the side. Now you can go to whatever distance is comfortable for you. Maybe you're here, maybe you're here. Maybe you want to stack some blocks up to support your foot. My right foot is catching on the edge of my fireplace mantle here. But the idea is that you're just opening one leg at a time. So the right leg is going to the side, rested on something if you need to. Maybe you're okay to just let it be in space. And just notice the sensation of opening here as you settle with your breath. That over time, the leg will descend further and further towards the earth as the breath and gravity works on the space. Most important thing you can do in this practice is breathe. And I would suggest in through the nose, out through the nose if you can. This breath pattern really helps put your body into that parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest space. And, yin in and of itself does that, but pairing it with the nostril breathing will really help your body to settle and move deeper into rest, which is where the body can heal and repair and really come alive with its passion and its purpose. Remember that if any of the feet start to tingle, just bend the knee, bring it down closer to heart level, let the tingling subside, and then put it back up. And the rate that that happens in the body is going to be different every day, so just pay attention. Good. Now on the next exhale, slowly draw your right foot back up to meet your left. Pause. Notice how the right side feels different from the left side. Notice any shift. Good, and then we'll take it to the opposite side. So the right leg stays straight this time. Drop the left leg out to the side. I've got a wall in my way, so I'm just going to scoot over a little bit so that I can drop the left leg a little further. Even still, I'm hitting the wall. That's okay. That can be my support. If you need support under the leg, feel free. If the foot comes all the way down to the earth, that's fantastic as well. But try not to let the body roll to the left to accommodate that foot coming to the earth. That's not the idea here. We want a nice inner groin opening. So once you've found comfort and space in this side, you can feel free to pause the video at any point. Set yourself up in the posture and then press play again. Stay for the duration with us and then move as needed into the next space. Make sure you're breathing. Just let it all settle. And space between the teeth, just relaxing your jaw, relax your neck, relax your shoulders, relax your ankles, your wrists. And soften your belly. You don't need to keep any firmness or tautness in your belly for class tonight. You're doing a lot of work on the hip area, the lower body, so just try and relax and settle into that. In through the nose, out through the nose, eyes closed, just settling, turning inward, taking this time for you. Good, and with your next exhale, draw the left leg back up to meet the right leg. Hold them up straight. Pause. Again, if the feet are starting to tingle, bring them down. Let the energy settle, and then put them right back up. So next place you'll find yourself is in full dragon. So both legs are going to stretch out. So right leg to the right, left leg to the left. As far as they want to go, props under the feet if you need to, or just holding them on the wall, right? Like you can just take the feet apart, maybe pressing a little bit into the heels to keep yourself there, but relaxing through the rest of your body. If both feet come to the earth on either side, that's great. If you have stacks of books or blocks or pillows or whatever you might have to support the feet, put them there and let the body rest. So no perfect way to do this. It's not necessarily a right or wrong. You need to listen to the body and what it's asking for. And then just breathe into that space, honoring where you find yourself. No judgment, just grace. Inhale and exhale through the nose, into your whole body. Can you breathe even deeper? Can you settle the bones more into the earth? Check in with your jaw. Are you clenching your teeth? If you are, create space and unglue your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Good. Next exhale, slowly draw your feet back into center. Pause. Just let that posture settle. Now we're going to move into Supta Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose on the wall. So the feet come down, soles together. The knees are going to come to either side of the body. So it doesn't matter. Maybe you're halfway down, maybe you're all the way down. But the outer edges of the feet will be pressing against the wall. And in actual fact, when I let my knees fall out, my heels pop off the wall a little bit. So it's really just the outside edge of the pinky toe mound that's hitting the earth here. But the idea is to have the knees bent, the feet down the wall as low as you can. Contact between the feet, whole spine pressing on the earth. And just breathe. Find that opening, find that sense of grounding. Your feet are a little bit lower here, so that tingling should become less, if at all. Now you've changed position here, so just tune back into your breath. Settle in, bones become heavy. Just allowing yourself to be here now, this gift of time and space. And just also remembering that as you're here in stillness, the goal is not to have the mind void of thought, but more or less to focus on the breath and acknowledging any thoughts that may come into the mind, just putting them on a shelf for later, and then coming back to your breath. Okay, so no judgment when the thoughts pop in, it happens to all of us. But the difference is that when you're in this space of yoga and stillness and intention, you try your best not to attach to them. Just acknowledge them, say, hey, I see you, but I don't need you right now. Can you just sit over here and I'll come back to you later, and then come back to the breath. Good. One more big breath in here. Stay for the exhale. You're going to slowly bring your knees together, soles of the feet to the mat, or to the wall, sorry. We're going to do supine figure four against the wall. So you may want to back up away from the wall a little bit, just squeak back. Have a sip of your tea here if you want to. Okay. So the wall is going to support the soles of your feet as you come into this supine figure four variation. Okay, so you can adjust your body forwards and backwards as much as you need to find the alignment that you need for this posture. So you're going to start with the right leg. So sole of the left foot presses into the wall. Right ankle is just going to come to the top of the left thigh. And that's it. So you can think about energetically pressing that right knee towards the wall. You don't have to. Okay, but just let it be easy here. Let your body find its space wherever it wants to be. And the hands can be where you want. They can be on the earth, palms face up, face down. They can be on the body. My preference is to have my hands kind of on the low belly. As I'm in these postures, I just like that connection to self, to be able to feel my breath as I'm here in stillness. So just adjust your body as needed. Again, there's no right or wrong. Whatever space you find that feels best for your body, trust that that's exactly where you need to be right now. And just keep breathing. Just feeling the release on the outer right hip. And just take one final breath in here. Stay for your exhale. Good. Then you'll release the right ankle from the right leg. Both feet come to the wall. Just let it settle. Notice the difference between the two legs. If you need to bring the feet the whole way down, you can. If you want to kind of squeeze in, give yourself a little bit of a hug here, you can do that as well. And then we'll prepare for the opposite side. So sole of the right foot is on the wall this time. Left ankle comes to right thigh. Adjust yourself as needed. So you're energetically pressing that left knee towards the wall. It doesn't have to be big. If you just want to let it kind of hang and fall where it wants to, that's cool too. When you've got it set up the way you want it, tune into your breath and let everything settle. And in that settling, things may come up. These hips of ours are places where a lot of emotions like to go and hide. And we avoid doing a lot of hip opening work because it does bring things up. Okay, so just notice what comes up for you as you dig into the hips. Remember to use your breath. Don't attach to anything, just give it a little hello. And just put it on the shelf for later. You've got lots of time, lots of life to deal with those things. It doesn't have to be right now. This is your time to create space and just to let go, to drop in, to be heavy. And especially when you're in these hip spaces, check in with your jaw. Make sure there's still a little space between your teeth. Make sure you're still breathing in and out of your nose if that's accessible to you. Moving deeper and deeper into the parasympathetic nervous system. Rest, digest, rebuild, reset. Let's take one more deep breath in here. Stay for your exhale. Then release the left ankle from the right thigh. Both feet come to the wall, or you can draw the knees in, give yourself a hug again. Just pausing in those spaces in between. Maybe you want to grab a sip of your tea. Okay, now we're going to move into Malasana against the wall. So I need to come a little bit closer. So you're going to take the knees wide, soles of the feet to the wall. So imagine that the wall is the floor and you're coming into that yogi squat. So for many people, the yogi squat Malasana, full Malasana, is challenging and not necessarily accessible in a vinyasa class, but doing it against the wall like this makes it a lot more accessible to people. So taking the knees wherever you need them to be, allowing the feet rather, wherever they need to be, allow your knees to drop to the outside, and then just breathe. So the hips can be as close to the wall or as far away as you need them to be to make this comfortable. So if you normally have a very deep yogi squat, you can bring the hips a little bit closer to the wall. If the depth um, is not there for you, you can bring the hips farther away from the wall. Just breathe. Hands can be wherever is comfortable for you. And toes are pointing slightly out. So the knees and the toes are pointing in the same direction for the Malasana posture here on the wall. Brilliant. Okay, take one more breath in. Stay for the exhale. And just gently bring the feet back to center, knees together. Pause here. Give yourself a little bit of a hug if that feels appropriate for you right now. Okay, and let's take a supine twist to the right. So you're going to drop the knees to the right. You might need to shift and shimmy a little bit here. The soles of the feet will be on the wall or the toes or whatever. Shoulder blades ground down on the mat. Okay, so this is very gentle. So don't force the knees down, but have some connection to the wall beneath the feet. Allow your knees to drop to the right. Shoulder blades are grounded, both of them grounded, right grounded, left grounded. Gaze is at the ceiling, or maybe you can drift the gaze over to the left. Whatever feels good for you, just breathe. Just breathe and find that stillness, eyes closed. It's not about how big this twist is. It's about how effectively you can breathe into this posture, into your body, to create some opening here, some release, some space. Focus on your breath, space between your teeth. Bones are heavy, muscles are soft. Release any of that gripping and tension, any of the force. Just come into softness and grace and acceptance for what is. Good. Gently, you're going to come back through center. Soles of the feet just make a nice arc on the wall. Pause in the center. Whole back, low back, mid back, upper back, all pressing into the earth. And we'll take the twist to the opposite side. So the feet are just going to finish that arc over to the left. Soles of the feet touching the wall. Knees to the left, shoulder blades both grounded down. Gaze is at the ceiling, or you can send the gaze over to the right. Just close your eyes and breathe here. Soft, steady breaths. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, just being here now. Space between the teeth. Let go of their gripping and tension. And one more deep breath in here. Stay for your exhale. Gently sweep the feet back up through center. You're likely going to have to scoot a little bit closer to the wall. Bring the legs back up. So feet straight back up the wall. Legs up the wall, just settling into this posture here. Breathe. Let everything settle. Maybe you're just noticing the shift in your energy here from the beginning of practice, the first time that you put the legs up the wall to now. Maybe you feel a little bit more space, a little bit more freedom, maybe some vibrancy, a little bit more compassion and love. Maybe you feel none of that, and that's okay. This is your practice. It releases what needs to be released, and it illuminates what needs to be illuminated. Sometimes it sends us these weird clues, these weird images that don't make sense right now. And that's okay too. Just file it away and trust that at some point you'll be able to connect the dots. Okay, if you're really, really liking legs up the wall, You just hang out here for as long as you like. But if you're ready to move into final resting posture, you can bring the legs down. And you're just going to scoot yourself back all the way on the mat so that you can lay down, legs wide, arms beside you. Maybe you cover yourself up with a blanket here. When you come into Shavasana, still find connection, feet to wall, hands beside you, palms face up, ready to receive. Bones are heavy, muscles are soft. Space between your teeth, release all of the tension. Just find that natural rhythm of your breath. Let everything settle. I encourage you to stay here in Shavasana as long as you can. Just really connecting to the earth, connecting to your breath here. Your bones are heavy, muscles are soft. And remembering that as you find space here, to focus on your breath. So any thoughts that come in, just give them a hello, acknowledge them, put them on the shelf for later, and come back to your breath. And if it is your time to complete your practice and move back into the world, and please do so slowly, gently. And I just want to thank you for being here, for taking time for you, for joining me for this practice, and for trusting me with your practice. Om Shanti. From my heart to yours. Namaste.